area by the FAO. This is 37% of the land area. The agricultural area used is divided into two categories: cropland, 33% of the global agricultural area, and permanent meadows and pastures, 67%, which account for the largest share of the world's agricultural area according to the FAO 2023. Definitions of agricultural area. The agricultural area is the sum of cropland, permanent meadows, and pastures. The FAO definition for cropland is land used for cultivation of crops. The total of areas under arable land and permanent crops. Arable land is land used for cultivation of crops in rotation with fallow, meadows, and pastures within cycles of up to 5 years. The total of areas under temporary crops, temporary meadows and pastures, and temporary fallow. Arable land does not include land that is potentially cultivable but is not cultivated. Permanent crops. Permanent crops are sown or planted once and then occupy the land for some years and need not to be replanted after each annual harvest, such as cocoa, coffee, and rubber. This category includes flowering shrubs, fruit trees, nut trees, and vines, but excludes trees grown for wood or timber. Again, from the same source, the definition of permanent meadows and pasture is land used for permanently for 5 years or more to grow herbaceous forage crops, either cultivated or growing wild, prairie, or grazing land. Permanent meadows and pasture are defined as land used permanently for 5 years or more to grow herbaceous forage crops through cultivation or naturally wild prairie or grazing land. This class includes grazing in wooded areas, including agroforestry areas, for example, grazing in shrubby zones, heath, maquis, garrigue, grassland in the plain or low mountain areas used for grazing. The land crossed during transhumance, where the animals spend a part of the year, approximately 100 days, without returning to the holding in the evening. Mountain and subalpine meadows and similar and steppes and dry meadows used for pasture. Countries with most arable land in 2021. In 2021, 10 countries are considered for most arable land. Number 1, United States, 155.92 million hectares. India, 152.64 million hectares. Russia, 120.24 million hectares. China, 107.60 million hectares. Brazil, 57.6 million hectares. Argentina, 41.72 million hectares. Canada, 37.8 million hectares. Nigeria, 36.4 million hectares. Ukraine, 32.56 million hectares. Australia, 30.92 million hectares. The United States and India have the most arable land in the world, though the two countries occasionally swap positions. For example, the United States ranked first in 2021 but was second in 2016 with roughly 152.2 million hectares of arable land, about 5,88,000 square miles, which is approximately 16.8% of its land area, to crops, and tallied 156.4 million hectares of arable land. India's neighbor Bangladesh is just over 58% arable, having earned it with the highest percentage of arable land in the world in 2016. Greenland is the largest country with no arable land, while the smallest nation. The small city state of Vatican City has none as well. According to the FAO, the world's arable land amounted to 1.38 billion hectares, 5.34 million square miles. In 2019, arable land worldwide has decreased by nearly a third since 1961. The reduction is due largely to deforestation, soil erosion, and desertification caused by global climate change. Non-arable land can sometimes be made arable, for example, by removing forest or tilling pastures land. On the other hand, non-arable land such as mountains, tundra, or desert is often permanently non-arable. In the countries with the most arable land in 2022, only 5 are considered. The word arable comes from the Latin word arabilis, meaning able to be plowed. Arable land is defined by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization as land currently used or potentially capable of being used to grow seasonal crops. This definition includes annual crops such as wheat, beans, and rice, but excludes land used for pasturing, tree farming, or silviculture, or more durable agricultural installations such as vineyards, orchard, and coffee and rubber plantation. Agricultural land in percent 2022. The average for 2022 based on 189 countries was 38.55%. The highest value was in Turkmenistan 84.55%, and the lowest value was in Suriname 0.45%. The indicator is available from 1961 to 2022. Below is a chart for all countries where data are available according to the World Bank. The reference are given in this page. The world's countries of cultivated land. Different countries use their land for various activities including agriculture and protected areas, green spaces, infrastructure settlement, and industrial zones. Countries with over 50% of cultivated land include those in Europe such as Denmark, Ukraine, and Hungary, those in Africa including Burundi and Rwanda, those in Asia including India and Bangladesh, as well as Pacific islands such as Tuvalu, Kiribati, and Micronesia. Comoros has 76% of its land under cultivation, the largest of any nation. The economy of the country largely relies on agricultural activities, and its arable land accounts for 45% of its total land area. 60% of the cultivated land belongs to village reserves as stipulated by customary law. 20% belongs to native landowners who reside in urban areas and hire laborers to cultivate on their land, while the rest 20% belongs to various company estates. Comoros produces bananas, rice, manioc, sweet potatoes, coconuts, cloves, corn, peppers, sugarcane, and sisal. The Comoros is also a top exporter of the Lang Lang perfumes plant. Agricultural productivity in the Comoros is, however, low as rudimentary cultivation methods are used. Tuvalu. Tuvalu has 66.67% cultivated land. The agricultural sector in Tuvalu is characterized by the cultivation of coconut and swamp taro. Tuvalu's cuisine is made of the staple of coconut, where the fresh coconut milk and coconut water are used to flavor dishes. Pulaka is the primary source of carbohydrates for Tuvalu's residents, and it is cultivated in huge pits of composted soil under the water table. And breadfruits and bananas serve as supplemented products. Most of the cultivated crops in Tuvalu feed the local demand, while copra is the primary agriculture export. Bangladesh. Bangladesh has 65.5% of its land under cultivation. Agriculture in Bangladesh accounts for 16% of the nation GDP and further employs 47% of its labor force. Jute and rice rank as the top crops grown in the nation, while wheat has been gaining ground. Tea plantation exists in the northeastern region. Bangladesh prides in fertile soil, while its ample water supply facilitates the cultivation and harvesting of rice 3 times annually. Bangladesh ranks as the fourth largest rice producing state in the world. Wheat is not one of the country's traditional crops, and it began gaining popularity in the 1960s and 1970s. Moldova. Moldova has 64.2% of its land under cultivation. The agriculture and food processing sectors in Moldova contribute about 40% of the country's GDP. Moldova's location near the Black Sea experiences a mild and sunny climate. Moldova's fertile soil facilitates the cultivation of barley, wheat, soybeans, corn, sugar beet, and tobaccos. Extensive vineyards characterize the southern and central regions, making world-class wine Moldova's best known export. The nation also produces apples, sunflower seeds, and walnuts. Methods to improve yields. In most cases, developing republics have most of their land under agriculture. Low productivity, however, makes it difficult for these countries to reap the benefits of their fertile soil and suitable climates. While rainfall has been relied upon the centuries to sustain farmland, its increasing unpredictability in the face of climate change means that irrigation has to be developed as a sustainable solution. The access to fertilizer should also be improved to ensure farmers get the right fertilizer at the right time and in affordable amounts. The adoption of both high yield crops and genetically modified crop cultivation practices have also been encouraged, as has the adoption of modern and technology cultivation techniques. The world's countries of cultivated land on the basis of percentage, total 35 countries, and exist between the 76% to 36%. Comoros 76% and Philippines 36%, and these are the total 35 countries. Thanks. Please like and comments.